Okay, continuing with our video lesson. Okay, for ninth grade, this is video lesson number 12. Okay, this topic you can find it on page 60. Okay, we're also going to review it during the live class. Okay, and remember that under this video, you'll find the link for some exercise. Okay, so in the first two video lessons, we talked about the interjection method and the substitution method. Okay, now we're going to cover the addition or subtraction method. Okay, this is pretty much the simplest of the methods. Okay, because we just need to find the number so that we can multiply and then add or subtract. Okay, so here we have our two equations. Okay, so what we do with the addition or subtraction method is that we're going to find the number that we can multiply either the top equation or the bottom equation, or sometimes a number for the top and for the bottom equation so that we can cancel. Okay, when I say cancel, okay, is that we're going to, instead of taking one and leaving the x alone, like the substitution or interjection method, what we're going to do is we're going to work with both of the equations together. Okay, now if you notice, what number can I multiply on the top or on the bottom so that I can start canceling? Okay, now here we have a 5 and the 4. Okay, so what we're looking for is a number that I multiply on the top, that I multiply on the bottom, so that when we have them together, I can cancel. Okay, now I can multiply, for example, here I could multiply -4 on the top and 5 on the bottom. Okay, so that I have a -20 on the top, a 20 on the bottom, and then I can cancel. Okay, but this is working a little extra. Okay, so if we already have like this term in the middle, okay, what would happen if I multiply the bottom equation by 2? I'm going to have 8x minus 6y. Okay, and if you notice, I have plus 6y minus 6y. Okay, and that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking to cancel either the x or the y so that I can only have one variable, and then I can find this variable or this variable, and then I can just substitute. Okay, it's easier when we put it into practice. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so instead of choosing a number on the top and on the bottom to cancel x, let's work with y because it looks easier. Okay, the 6y can stay like it is on the top, and I can take 2 and multiply the bottom equation. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, okay, for example, I have 5x, okay, I'm going to put it here, 5x plus 6y equals to 20. Okay, and I have the bottom equation, 4x minus 3y equals minus 23. Okay, so I'm going to take this number, okay, this equation, sorry, and I'm going to multiply by 2. Remember, what I do on one side, I have to do it on the other. Okay, we have to keep the balance. Okay, so if I multiply the bottom equation by 2, okay, what I'm going to have is 5x plus 6y equals to 20. Okay, and then I'm going to have 2 times 4x, 8x. 2 times -3y minus 6y. 2 times -23, -46. Okay, now why do I do this? Okay, because if I'm going to use the both of the equations together, look at what happens here. I add 5 plus 8, I add or subtract 6 minus 6, and then I add or subtract 20 minus 46. So this one, if you notice, gets canceled. 6y minus 6y is 0. And that's what we're looking for. Okay, so that we can have only, okay, I'm going to put it on this side. The only thing that we have left is 8x, the 5x plus 8x, okay, and then equals to 20 and equals to -26. Okay, and then we add them or subtract them depending on the symbols. Okay, so we have 13x equals to 20. Oh wait, this is 46, sorry. Okay, so 20 minus 46 equals to negative 26. Okay, and what do I do here? I divide. Divided by 13, divided by 13, and I have x equals to negative 2. And if you notice, I already have my first variable. Okay, so once I get my first variable, what do? I take this x and I put it in one of the original equations. Okay, let's take the top equation. I have 5x plus 6y equals to 20. Okay, so I know that x is equal to minus 2. So I'm going to take 5 times minus 2 plus 6y equals to 20. 5 times minus 2, minus 10. Plus 6y equals to 20. This is negative. I move it to the other side. Positive. Okay, so 20 plus 10. Okay, 6y equals to 30. And I divide by 6. I divide by 6, and I already have y. Okay, so what is my solution set? X equals to minus 2, and y is equal to 5. Okay, and I have my answer. Okay, what did I do? Let's go back. We take the two original equations. Okay, now this one was pretty simple because I only had to multiply 2 on the bottom so that I can make this into 6y minus 6y. Okay, so this was pretty simple. Now, what happens when we don't have an easy number that we can just multiply one side? Okay, we're going to do another one exactly like this example. Okay, so what I'm looking for is a number that I can multiply either the top equation or the bottom equation so that I can cancel. Okay, in this case, we notice that we have 6y, and here we have a minus 3. Now, what would happen if this was a plus 3? Okay, if this was a plus 3, then I would have used minus 2 on this side. Okay, but this is a negative. Okay, so just to keep it negative so that I can cancel with the top 6y, I only had to multiply by 2. Okay, so I multiplied the bottom equation by 2, and I get 8x minus 6y equals to minus 46. Okay, I cancel the middle term, and I have 5x equals to 20, and x equals to negative 46. Okay, so I add them together. This side, I add them because this one is positive, and this one is positive. Okay, on this side is 20 minus 46. This one is negative. So this is like a normal subtraction. 20 minus 46 is the same as saying minus 46 plus 20. Okay, and we get minus 26. So 13x equals to negative 26. We divide 13 on this side, 13 on this side, and we get x minus 2. Okay, and once we have the value of one of the variables, we substitute that variable into one of the original equations. I could have used the other one. Okay, no problem. The answer is going to be the same. Okay, but I take the one that I looked at it's going to be easiest, and I take this one. Okay, then I just substitute the value of x, and I'm going to find the value of y. Okay, now let's do an exercise where we don't have it. Okay, where we don't have that, we only need to multiply one of the equations. Okay, let's work on one where we have to work on both. Okay, so let's do a new exercise. Okay, we're going to do letter J on page, oh, I'm not sure about the page number. Let me double check. On page 61. Okay, we're going to do letter J. That one needs a multiplication from both of the equations. Okay, so this one is 9x minus 4y plus 5 equals to 0. And 6x plus 5y minus 12 equals to 0. Okay, this is letter J on page 61. Page 61. Okay, so this one is not that easy, okay, because we have a number 9 here and a 6 here, and we have a 4 and we have a 5. Okay, so that means that we do not have a number that we can just multiply one of the variables, sorry, of the equations. Okay, so we need to find a number that we can multiply on the top and that we can multiply on the bottom that is going to make it easy for us to cancel. Okay, so if you notice, 6 and 9 have a common factor, which would be 18. Okay, so if I multiply 9 times 2, I get 18. And if I multiply 6 times 3, I get 18. Okay, so this is the one that we're going to choose. Okay, so I'm going to take the top equation plus 5. Wait, let's just move the 5 to the other side so it's easier. Okay, it's going to be minus 5. Okay, this one is positive. I move it to the side, negative. Okay, and I have 6x plus 5y equals to 12. Negative here, move to the other side, positive. Okay, so I'm looking to cancel the x. Okay, so 9 times 2 is going to be 18, and 6 times 3 is going to be 18. But one of them has to be negative. Okay, so I'm going to multiply the top one by minus 2 and the bottom times 3. Okay, this is where you have to be careful because we're looking for a number that is going to help us cancel, right? And I'm using the negative on the top so that I have negative 18 here, and 3 times 6 is going to be positive 18. Okay, so let's do them one by one. Okay, so we have negative 2 times 18, sorry, times 9x, negative 18x. Negative 2 times 4y plus 8y. Negative 2 on this side times negative 5, 10. Okay, now let's do the bottom one. 3 times 6, 18x. Okay, 3 times 5 plus 15y. And then 12 times 3, 36. Okay, now what do we have here? Now we can cancel the 18. Look, negative 18x plus 18x, 0. Okay, and then we can just work normally on the others. 8y plus 15y, 23y. Okay, and 10 plus 36, 46. Okay, then we just divide by 23, divide by 23, and y is equal to 2. Okay, and that's how we get our first variable. Okay, how do we get to this point? Remember, we found a number that we multiplied the top equation, and we found the number that multiplying the bottom equation is going to help us cancel one of the variables. Now, let's say that we don't cancel the x. Let's say that we want to cancel the y. Okay, that means that we can multiply the top by 5 and the bottom by 4. And it's going to cancel the middle one with 20. Look, negative 4 times 5, negative 20. And 5 times 4, positive 20. Okay, so we would have canceled the middle term. Okay, but it looked easier to work with the x because 9 times 2 is 18, negative in this case, and 6 times 3 is also 18. Okay, now we have y. What do we do with this y? We substitute it in one of the equations so that we can find the other variable. Okay, so y is equal to 2. Then I bring 9x, for example, minus 4y, okay, equals to minus 5. Okay, so let's substitute. Y is equal to 2. Okay, so we have 9x minus 4 times 2 equals to minus 5. Okay, so 9x minus 8 equals to minus 5. This is negative. It's going to move to the other side positive. Okay, so we have minus 5 plus 8, and that means 9x is equal to 3, and divided by 9, x is equal to 3 over 9, which in simple fraction is going to be 1/3. Okay, and I already have my second variable. Okay, so let's review every step that we did. Okay, we have our original equation. Okay, for easier look, I moved these numbers to the other side. This one moves as negative, -5, and this -12 moves to the other side as positive. Okay, now we have these two equations. Okay, I'm looking for a number that I can multiply on the top and multiply on the bottom that's going to help me cancel. Okay, so I cancel the 18, then I just add the y's, okay, and I solve for y, and I get this answer. And then I substitute this y in one of the original equations, okay, so that I can find the value of x. Okay, and once I have x, I have y. That means that my solution set is 1/3, 2. Okay, value of x, value of y. Okay, and this is the substitution method mixed with the addition and subtraction. Okay, because here we're just substituting, so it's not the substitution method. Okay, but we're substituting. Okay, so this step is called the addition or subtraction. Why? Because we're looking for a number to multiply one of the equations or both so that we can add or subtract. Okay, so that is why it's called addition or subtraction. Okay, so make sure to check the link under this video. Okay, you're going to find the exercises for this lesson. Okay, if you have any questions about this topic, please let me know and I'll help you out. Okay, thank you very much.